Let's talk. Yeah.
All right, here we are, Gone Boys channel, and I got Be the Change over here as a guest tonight. How you doing, Be the Change?
I'm pretty damn good. I appreciate you having me on. It's going to be a good conversation.
Man, excuse me, but it's raining out here. I don't know how good my signal is, and it might get loud on the mic. I'm not sure. We got People's Last Stand and a fellow Pennsylvania resident, Born a Racer, in the house.
Born a Racer, what's going on, buddy? You live less than 10 miles from me, man.
That gum, is that all?
Yeah, he lives in a town that I used to live in.
Y'all ever hooked up?
No, we never met yet.
Y'all ought to.
That's what I said a bunch of times. I said it to him a bunch.
I met Jammin' Jammer 7, and he passed away a few weeks ago, man.
Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that.
He lived 10 miles from me. But yeah, I was watching your live a minute ago, and you couldn't show what you're trying to show, and we'll do that whenever you're ready. But what were you saying? They are sitting there making it to where you cannot pinpoint the locations in the state?
Well, that's exactly what they're doing. See, what I've been doing since around the beginning of January, whenever they put this thing up on, and I've been tracking it ever since there was like less than 100 cases. And
right.
Basically you could go to the little municipality and see where it's located, right? And that makes sense whenever you're thinking about trying to avoid contamination, giving a resource that people could look at and, decide whether they want to go to the hotspot or not, right? Well, in Pennsylvania now, and I'm a little bit upset because right where I live in Pennsylvania is where the dot is for Pennsylvania. No longer is it over on the eastern side of the state showing Philadelphia and Wayne County, and it doesn't say any of the counties no more. It doesn't let you know where the municipality is that it's in. It's just saying, hey, guess what? There's 10 here. Good luck.
That's true. Well, they're trying, I guess, if they're marking exactly where it is, maybe it's causing a commotion. Who knows? I mean, there's no rhyme or reasoning behind what they do.
I'll almost guarantee you that's exactly what the reason is. See, right now where the little red dot is, I mean, it's very self-explanatory that that's just the dot for Pennsylvania. But whenever you zoom in on it, it's literally over top of my county because I'm like dead center of the state every which way.
Yeah.
And that's just how they have it set up.
We got a Save Center in the house. How you doing?
Hello.
And Debbie R., how you doing? Trying to say hello to most people, but if we get the conversation going, I can't really get in the chat. I just like to let everybody know that because I hate to break the conversation up.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to you, man. If you want to sit there and take comments, like by all means, like just dart them out there or something, say something.
Well, if I see something or we get a little pause, I'll holler out somebody's name. But, once we get going, it's kind of hard for me to watch that chat anyhow.
Yeah. Yep. No, I get what you're saying.
But yeah, if people haven't got prepared by now and got supplies, they're a little bit late.
It is a little bit late because the people that are going to realize it by this point are going to know. Everybody else is going to go panic buy at the very last second, and then you're going to end up with shit that you're not going to use, you're not going to need. You're gonna be like fighting yourself to eat it first, and that's all you're gonna have. You know what I mean? Most people only got 3 days worth of food. A 20-pound sack of rice will last you a long damn time.
I've got enough canned goods, dried beans, and rice to make it 6 months on my own. Plus my medical supplies and bandages, gauze. I've even got upholstery needles and fishing lines, so if I have to sew myself up. You know what I mean?
Hey, that's just how it is. You got to plan for the worst.
I've got Clorox. I've got everything I need to sit there and purify water. Because you can only, 6 months. If you got to hold out 6 months, that's a lot of water to have on hand. So you need to be able to purify to an extent.
Mm-hmm. Now, what about your area? Like in my area, I'm able literally, like where I'm at, first off, I'm on a well. Okay. Second off, I can go right down the street and I'm up in the mountains. So like there's natural springs that's where they actually have like a pole that somebody sat there and knocked into the side of the wood, or the wood. Yeah. Into the side of the mountain, into the rock. and it just pours out that pipe, just crystal clear, clean water. You know what I mean? There's no contaminants. It's getting cleaned by the rocks. You know, like that's something that I have near me as a resource. Less than a 5-minute walk with 2 5-gallon buckets. That'll be fine. Worst case scenario. But most people have that where they live.
I've got 2 shallow wells that I've got hidden, capped off, and I've got my hand pitcher pump and pipe. So, and I've got it hidden. So if anything goes wrong, you know I can get that pitcher pump out and set everything down in that well and be good to go. Plus, like you said, and I don't know how clean it is, but right across the street from me is natural water coming out of the side of the hill.
That's the cleanest water that you can get. You know what I mean? Especially whenever it's up on like a hill that isn't like industrialized.
Right. No, there's nothing industrialized around me. Well, I mean, there are farmlands, but you know, that's not on top of the hills.
No, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. In the ground, that's where well water comes from, especially like up where we're at. I think we have like a 300 or 400 foot well. You know what I mean? Because they had to dig down so far to get to the water because of how high we are. Now, like everything's coming down off the slope and it's getting slowly cleaned out until it hits that that spot where it's, I don't really understand how a well works under the ground, but I know that it gets cleaned out like that. It's the safest kind of water you can drink. You might just have some mineral deposits, like calcium, some lime, but a normal water filter will clean a lot of that out of there.
Well, around here, certain wells have an iron taste to them, not all of them. And where my dad's at, it's got more of a lime. How am I trying to say it? Like his bathtub, I get green on it. That's lime, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what happens with my stuff. It's like a calcium and lime deposit that we get here. I mean, it's not a whole lot, but it is enough to where if you're watering your plants with it, you don't really have to add any kind of calcium supplements.
Hey, I'm gonna have to stop for 1 second to say hello, return of the cat's eyes. I hadn't seen you in a long time. How you doing?
Hello.
I love her. I love her voice, man. She's a great person. And we got Jenny B in the house. I didn't mean to do this, but we can chit chat, get some stuff accomplished at the same time. I guess we're not pushing fear; we're just pushing preparedness.
That's it. I swear to goodness, like I'm not scared. Like between me and my children, like my children aren't really at risk for this. Okay, it's not going to be that bad for them. I am 30 years old and decent health. You know what I mean? Like I'll be fine. I'm not worried about that. And it's not even about the disease I'm worried about. It's about exactly what you're seeing in the stock market right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? About how it is. I called this a couple weeks ago. I'm sure you've seen the video that I did. You know what I mean? 2 months ago, I was saying this, that it's going to cause an economic collapse. It's not going to be the disease you got to worry about.
Well, look,
guys, it's the sniffles.
Well, check this out. And this is my spin on it. It's not going to cause the economic collapse. The economic collapse was coming. They're using this as a reason why the economy is collapsing.
That's
one thing.
They needed a reason and a way to cull the herd. Sorry, hang on 1 second. I got this playing. I'm trying to pause it. It's being stupid.
Yeah, I hear the audio now.
Yeah. Okay, I got it. Is this better?
Hello, test 1 2. Yeah. It wasn't doing it earlier. I wonder what happened.
No, I wanted to see what the chat looked like, so I pulled up.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So that way I can see the chat, and you know what I mean. Like, because a lot of these people, I like People's Last Stand. You know what I mean? Like I watch his stuff and, Born to Racer and, I'm pretty much, I think I'm subbed to just about everybody in here.
Hello, Susie. Well, check this out. This is my deal too. If you look at the regular flu and how many people it kills a year in the United States, I mean, it's over 30,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They don't have anywhere to find a starting point when the regular flu season comes around. So they designed another flu with a genetic marker that they can trace. And they released that at a starting point to where they knew where it started. And they are spreading fear to scare people into doing what they want them to do. I'm not saying this virus is a hoax by any means.
But
it's just like regular flu. It's killing the elderly.
Yeah.
people with lung problems and stuff. I mean,
No, you're exactly right, John. Like that has been my whole point this whole time. Whether it's real or not doesn't really matter because they're just going to use it and shape it to stop protests. Hong Kong, Paris, all
yeah.
over the United States. There's just going to be people that have just been called down. They figured out the one way that they were going to be able to get everybody to stop standing up for themselves.
And this, being it's worldwide, will push in the new world order on top of it.
That's what the whole thing is. They're going to try to take away, after all this is all said and done, within the next 2 years, they're going to try to implement a cashless society that's going to track everything and anything that you do that requires you to give up your energy in the form of money.
They will have that in place before 2021 gets here. Watch. Agenda 21. This is Agenda 21 in full swing action right here.
All they had to do was just jump FEMA in the way, and then FEMA's in charge of everything. The government, the presidency. Look, they just got. Trump's going to be sick. You wait. They're going to use this as like a mind fuck on the Trumpyites. They're going to make everybody that loves Trump so much is going to go, oh my God, Daddy Trump's dead, and then they're going to be like, okay, well then screw that, and then we're going to go to this guy, and they're going to put all their energy into that way, and it's going to funnel them down the cattle chutes, and they're not even going to see that they're in a cage.
Yeah. Well, people, and on top of it, think about it. If you lose, and this is the whole bad thing, I'm hoping people understand why this country needs to manufacture all their own goods, because we have been dependent on all these other foreign countries, especially China, to get our product in. Even our prescription drugs, which I don't take prescriptions of any kind.
Me neither, yeah. But that's the point. There's a lot of people who don't have the luxury of being healthy enough not to. You know what I mean? There's some people that, have like a real illness that they need like a blood pressure medication for. And then you can go a lot deeper into that, but that's besides the point with the whole way that this, system's set up to make your body fail. That's right. Besides, the real problem is that we don't, you said it exactly. We don't have no self-dependency on nothing.
There's not a textile factory in this country anymore. Is there a sock factory in this country at all? A t-shirt factory? Anything like that?
Small ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's nothing substantial anymore. There's one of the biggest in the whole country, steel production place right near me. It's called the Standard Steel. It used to be called the Freedom Forge back in the early 1900s. And it's not like it used to be. Like even when I was a kid, it was so like bustling, and so many people had great jobs that worked there. And now it's like you've got to know somebody to get in there, and the workforce is so small, and everything's starting to change. They're changing it away from that society where you're going to be working for society and you're pretty much going to be depending on the society to survive,
Right. This, man, I mean, I'm not pushing fear, and I'm not scared. I really ain't, because I've prayed. I've got the full armor of God on me. God has protected me. God has performed miracles on me before.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not worried. I've prayed about it. I haven't had the flu since 1982.
I haven't had since I was in the Army.
Well, I had... Oh, what was that they gave me? Typhoid shot? Ooh, that gave me flu-like symptoms for like 5 days, man.
I never took the typhoid shot. I took malaria, but the thing with the malaria pill was it was called, oh, hell, I don't even know what it's called, but it wasn't even for the strain of malaria that was in Iraq. You know what I mean?
Really?
But they're like, yeah, fuck it, let's give it to them and give them all kinds of head injuries and, screw it,
You have to take the oral polio, where you squeeze that little vial on your tongue?
No, I had a shot I'm pretty sure I had a shot for polio whenever I was a kid.
No, I mean, in the military, if you're on I could have been called anywhere in the world. I was in the Air Force and I was a crew chief, so I could have went with my airplane anywhere it went. So I had to have my shot vaccines and all that stuff. And they would give us oral polio, typhoid shot, and I forgot what the other 2 shots were, to be immunized, to go overseas.
Right. See, I've had like whenever I was deployed, they gave us like a series of like 5 or 6 shots for anthrax. You know, I mean, I had like the smallpox. You know, like the smallpox pokers. They gave me smallpox. You know, I had. To be honest with you, I had so many shots. The only ones that I know what they were for sure were the flu ones. Because whenever they gave me a flu shot or the flu mist, I ended up in the hospital.
I'm gonna talk to the chat for a second. Hey, Cafe Enlightened and Mama Bird, how y'all doing today? Thank you for coming by. We're not promoting fear. We're just stating the fact. It's not a hoax. I mean, the virus is real, but they're playing it up like it's the biggest pandemic there ever was. When all it is they figured out how to put a genetic marker in a flu so they could track it from start to end.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's not a flu or a virus, but it's basically a genetically marked virus that they can trace and instill fear into the public and have them do whatever they want them to do.
There's people out there that believe that this is like you're basically it's basically AIDS. You know what I mean? It's basically HIV. Sneezing on people would be like giving somebody like AIDS.
Well, this is what I've heard. They are saying now that virus has the AIDS virus in it and the Ebola virus. And I'm like, how is that possible?
It just has similar, just like we have a nose, right? And there's certain parts of our DNA that are the same as a dolphin, but we don't look anything like a dolphin and we don't act nothing like them either. Okay. It's the same way with that. Like it has like protein markers that grab a hold of, you know, like the clean cell, you know, like one of the crown little spots that like the grabber, you know what I mean? It grabs onto the cell in a certain way, and it's very similar to the way that HIV does it, and it's, you know, it's genetically similar, and that's what they're saying. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it could be genetically modified.
Well, check this out. This is what I heard like an hour ago. And hello, Tomahawk Hunts Coins. And who else jumped in here? I guess so. But anyhow, this is what I heard, and it's easier to tell how many states don't have. There's 14 states that don't have cases. Can you believe that?
I'll tell you what, I didn't even think it was 14. I thought it was only 12 now.
Really? Well, it could have changed in the last hour. I mean,
no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I could be totally wrong, but I watched it jump. Like, I refreshed the page and it went from 607 to 709. Like nothing. You know what I mean? By the end of this week, we're going to have multiple thousands of people.
Well, check this out. Tennessee's got it in Davidson County. If I'm not mistaken, that's where Nashville is. And is that not where Trump went? And after Trump went to Nashville, he looked bad. Like Ben Time Traveler said, he won his orange as he normally is.
That's the truth, though. Like right now, like can I share my page?
Yeah. You get it up there, and I'll click it on.
Share screen. All right, do you see it?
Not yet.
Oh, okay, I got it.
It might take a minute.
I don't need to share my audio. I guess I got to share my audio.
Yeah, you got to share your audio, but all you got to do is, there you go. I can see it now. Hang on. All right.
All right, everybody, I'm new to this. All right, we good?
You're sharing your entire screen.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I didn't click on this yet. All right. Now I know it looks like the world has the chicken pox, but this is like the John Hopkins website, and you know, I want to show you exactly what I was talking about. You know, right here where my mouse is the Pennsylvania one, right?
Right.
So it used to be right here. So you would see one right here, and then there was one right up here, okay? And then I had like 3 that sprinkled up through the state with a total of 7. Now this is like less than an hour and a half ago, okay, that I checked it. I like nodded off for a little bit, and I woke up and refreshed the page, and it jumped up to like above 700. Now it's at 753. And
well, look, I had been Time Traveler on earlier on my live stream, and he brought up the same exact map, and it said 600 up there.
It did. It said 609 like less than 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
They're doing it like one time a day now. They're not doing it throughout the day like they were.
Oh.
Yep. So now we got 10 in Pennsylvania. That jumped from that jumped from 4 in the last 2 days. Now, these things used to be sprinkled up here. So like the layman who's going to like go ahead and do this, they're going to think that this is where the outbreak is because they're not going to look any deeper. Right. And so you go in right where this little thing is, and you're like, oh, where does this lead me to? And then it'll, after it refreshes itself, it'll show you that that's where I live. Isn't that messed up?
Huh.
You know what I mean? That's literally my county. Like it says Juniata right here. Okay. So like right here's the dot. I live right here. That's less than 5 miles away from where that dot shows up on my map.
Dead gum.
How is that for coincidence?
That is crazy.
Yeah, but it used to show you right where the towns were. Like on Florida, for instance, it would show you that there was one down here in Broward County. You had a couple over here up in the Tampa area, and then you had some up here towards the Panhandle, up right about where the Alabama border is.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just they're trying to not let people know for what reason. No clue.
That's Panama City up there in that corner right there where the Panhandle touches.
Yeah, that's where it is. That's exactly my point. It's like they weren't you know how bad it is.
Well, that down lower, was that Panama City or was that Tampa Bay?
It was like right in that lower, this was Tampa. Okay, it was in Tampa, and then you had it down here in the like right outside of Davie in Broward County. And then you got and this is just talking about Florida. And then up here, and then it was like in between here and like right here, but it was right along I-10, okay? Now, this all attaches the whole way across. They don't want you to be, because the people were being able to start to like pick up like a path to it, and I was.
Yeah.
Okay, they had it all the way out through here, over in Houston and San Antonio, and then you went you followed the whole way out to Phoenix. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you followed that the whole way out to Phoenix, and it went the whole way across. Like there was somebody like infecting people, or a group of infecting people, probably tour buses, going from Phoenix the whole way down through Tucson. There was one in Tucson. It was followed the whole I-10 there was like dots on it. And it was like that with a lot of different major roadways. And you could start to like build an idea of where it's going. But now they completely ruined that for anybody doing like independent research.
Well, yeah, they don't want people figuring it out. It's just crazy.
And now whenever I say stuff like that and I don't have something to reference, like I look like an idiot or a fearmonger because it's like, no, I mean, the dot's right there, dude. The computer box says the dot's there, man. You get what I'm saying, right? Like, that's my point.
Hey, if anybody doesn't have Be the Change, I've got his link in the description, or you could type something in chat and people could, get you there. But I'd like to thank Enlightened Cafe and Return to Cat's Eyes coming in, Mama Bird and Debbie R. and Tomahawk Hunts Coins. I now that I got a voice, I can talk to Tomahawk Hunts Coins. Man, I've got foreign coins from the 60s. I got a few back in the 50s, and a lot of them are in the 70s. And these foreign coins, the countries don't even exist. I've got the Bank of Korea. I've got Hong Kong. I've got Turkish money. I've got Queen Elizabeth Jamaican money. I've got all sorts of stuff. And the Queen Elizabeth Jamaican stuff, according to what I saw, one coin is worth $40,000, and I got 2 of them.
That's
which ain't gonna be worth nothing now. I mean, food's gonna be worth more than gold.
Yeah. Don't hoard gold, hoard toilet paper, right?
Like Ben Time Traveler said, his can of pork and beans is gonna be worth more than an ounce of gold.
Yeah. Effectively, yeah. I can't eat your gold. It's just like whenever I hear somebody talking about, oh man, I got this big bug, look at the rack on it. Dude, you know what? I can't eat the horns.
Yeah.
That's how my life goes, But no, I was gonna say, what the hell was I gonna say? Oh, I don't know. Go on. What do you want me to? Sorry, go. I just got sidetracked. Go ahead.
Man, I have the same problem, man. Hey, did you see where they did that health survey on me?
Oh yeah, I seen all that stuff, man.
Was that not crazy?
Well, I'll tell you what,
I
I
guess
get.
you have them. Where do you keep them?
Yeah, I'm gonna
That's what
tell you,
they
bud.
asked. Do
Why don't you
what?
come and find out? You know what I mean? Like, come on, what was it? And I don't even really care for him too much, but Ronald Reagan, he said that the scariest words in English language are "I'm from the government and I'm here to help you."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, and see that's the thing. Trump wanted this wall, okay? Why? Why did he want it so fucking bad? We've been dealing with the same bullshit forever. No, they all are in cahoots with each other. They all know what's happening. And there's no such thing as 4D chess with Trump. He's just trying to get you to conform in a way that isn't going to be detrimental to the overall New World Order society. You should have like every one of your people that do your videos with you.
I'll get you for copyright. It's just how I do it. It's my style. So anybody, I mean, I've seen one person do it, but not continuously. I do it continuously.
Yeah, I didn't even know you had a chin for quite a while, man. It's there. Everybody screenshot it.
Oh, that facial recognition picked it up like that. That's the whole reason. I mean, my ID card, I've got an old picture, and they want to use recent pictures. When you go to get your driver's license, I'll go in there with my beard all out. I'm like, well, can't we just use my old one? I haven't shaved today, and they're like, well, okay.
Damn.
I had driver's license, had my sunglasses on top of my head, and I talked them into, you can't really see them up there. And they let me keep them. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, but not anymore. They're going to be doing that real ID thing by 2021. It just all plays in. Like the California Railway, how they screwed up Paradise, and they had that, like, that's where they set up the California Railway. Was like, you looked at all the fires going down California, and you looked at the 2050 plans for the railway, the expressway, and they are overlapping. They are the same. Well,
part of it could be because China pretty much owns. They probably gave China California, and China's like, well, can y'all clear it out for us?
Yeah, right. Right. And then they set it up in such a way, like it was set up for failure. Like, we're giving so much money to other countries for whatever. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what it's for. I don't care if you call it humanitarian aid. And then if we take it away, it's hurting somebody. Well, what about the homeless motherfucker that's sitting outside of the store, that's shitting on the side of the street everybody's bitching about? They're all problems, but in reality, they need help.
Well, this is the problem with that humanitarian aid. It's not making it to the people. It can't get past their politicians' pockets.
That's the point. That's the problem. And that's the thing. Like, I don't care. I love my country. Like, I love where I live. But I'll tell you what, I would never take that oath again and do what I did. You know what I mean? I would never do it again. I wouldn't do it. I don't agree with people joining into the military. I mean, if that's what you want to do, by all means. But like look at what's going on, man. We don't take care of ourselves, man. It's not righteous anymore.
When I had to take that oath, when it got to the point where it said I will give my life for this country, I had my fingers crossed, and I was thinking in my mind, no, I won't. I'm sorry, but I mean, I'll give my life for a fellow, person. If I can save somebody, I will give my life to spare somebody else's. But I'm not going to sit there and be told, go on this suicide mission. Screw you, buddy. I'll save my comrade, but I'm not going to go on a suicide mission. I'm sorry.
And then there's like so many things that, like, you know what I mean? Like that's I've had some personal experience with that as well. when I was in Iraq, I had a sergeant go, "Hey man, go out and look at that." What do you mean? I know what it is, dude. It's a 155 round, and I don't want to go look at it. And he's like, "No, dude, we need to go see if it's hollow or if there's something." No, man. No, I don't care. Write me up, dude. What are you gonna do?
Hey, I gotta say something. Hydrobot, where you been, man? I ain't seen you forever. Y'all got that lasagna cooked up yet? They've been promising me lasagna forever. But yeah, I mean, it's and you know what was crazy? Look, I was in the Air Force in the 80s, right? We were getting these people were teaching how to fly the planes. They were coming out there in white robes with white towels around their heads and sandals and getting behind the daggum, the steering wheel of the plane or whatever you want to call it. And I'm like, what is going on? And it's like, oh, we're teaching them how to fly. I'm like, really? We're teaching these people. They didn't even have a flight uniform. It looked like they just come off the camel and stepped up on the plane. I'm like, what in the world? That's another reason I got out. I didn't agree with that. We don't teach foreigners how to fly. And
our planes, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, look what happened down in Florida. That dude sat there and killed all them people. Where was he from again?
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. Like if for 1 second you don't think that there isn't, if you don't think for 1 second that there isn't people in this country right now that are like ready at the drop of a hat from their country's dictation, say, hey, kill and attack all Americans. Like you are so blind. Like, tell me that there isn't. Look how many foreigners that are around here that hate us. That you know what I mean, that you can just tell by the way that you talk to them. Some people that I've met are great people, but I'll tell you what, there's some other people that are just absolutely against us, and you can tell it from the core.
Well, let me tell you, I was working at this body shop, and this Iranian guy sat there and snookered his way in, right? Then they started running the show, and he was nobody, right? And he started, we had to stop playing the radios because he didn't like the music. I couldn't bring my dog with me anymore because if a dog touched him, it made him unclean, and God didn't like that, his God. And he would go to his home country a couple of times a year, right? And he'd come back talking about, having to walk down the street with an AR-15 on his shoulder. And I'm like, the Joker's shooting people over there and coming back to America, missing shooting people. And he hated me because he knew I could see through him.
Mm-hmm.
He would try to set me up for failure. Like if I had to move a car, he would move a toolbox to where he'd hope I'd scratch the quarter panel up.
Yeah.
It was just crazy. I'm not racist, but that guy, he's a sleeper cell. And they had to leave the shop, I don't know how many times a day, to go to the mosque to pray. Well, look, you can go past those mosques any time of the day and never see anybody there, but yet they're always having to go to the mosque to pray. But you never see anybody at the mosque.
Yeah. And that's the thing. They're allowed to lie. They're allowed to lie to anybody who isn't a Muslim. They're allowed to, you know what I mean? Like, that's just what it is. They're allowed to completely lie to you and betray you too.
You can't. Hey, Jenny, you don't have to. I appreciate it, but you don't have to. Oh, you kind of froze I've got storms and rain in areas, so I might be a little glitchy on my end. It's probably going good on your end.
I don't know. I haven't seen any issues at all. It's been like a smooth video on my side, but I don't know how it looks on YouTube because I'm not watching. I just have the YouTube thing up so I can see the chat. And I really appreciate everybody that subbed to me. You know what I mean? I know that I'll get notifications here whenever I go back to regular life. When I start doing something, I think will blow up and let me know.
I've got Be the Changes link to his channel in the description if anybody, I'd appreciate if people go over there and sub to him because he's a good guy, man. He's just a regular American just like us. He's not fear-mongering. He's just saying be prepared. And that's all I've been trying to tell people. It's a little late if you're not. What's that?
I'm just trying to poke people in the head. Like, wake up.
It don't matter, man. I've showed people the stuff in the skies, and they're like, "Oh, that's so pretty." I'm like, well, "Hang on, you're not." What?
Nobody sees it. It's like we live in two different like dimensions.
Yeah,
And
I
that's
don't
because
get
it is.
I showed them the halo with the sun dogs, and that's another time I got that. Oh, that's so pretty. I go, do you realize that's not normal, and it happens all the time? I've never
Yeah,
seen anything like that.
yeah.
What?
You shouldn't be seeing things like that if there wasn't particulates up there refracting all of the light in different directions. But now at the same time, if they didn't, what would be happening? Like I've heard that there's a lot of like conjecture that there is, you know, the sun is putting out certain energies, right? To help us like come to an awakening like through our mind. Like you've heard of the age of Aquarius is like the age of
Right.
awakening. You know what I mean? So like as the sun ramps up, and right now we're in the middle of a grand solar minimum. I'm sure you're aware of that, like how the sun isn't having a lot of solar, you know, activity right now, which is causing our Earth to act a certain way, which is causing us to act a certain way. And if they block out the rays that we're getting right now, who knows what we could be aware of right now? But they're
Well,
blocking
look, I used to watch MB333 or whatever because he used to do the sun, the UV strength and all that around the world, which you don't do that much anymore. But we were getting UVC, which is cosmic rays, to the ground and
Yep.
high readings of it. And that should never be at the ground level ever. But
Mm-hmm.
we were getting high ratings. I'm talking about like 10.
Yeah, he was putting that. He would put out like a reader, and he
Yeah.
would have it on his porch and stuff like that. Like I remember watching that.
Well, he
Yeah.
had other people around the country and other countries that were doing the same thing, and they would send in their videos to him, and he would show around the world the UVC and you know, and the cosmic ray readings, and it was just crazy off the scale.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's another thing they do. They keep changing the scale.
Yeah, they change it. They just play with different numbers.
Yeah. They're like, you know, used to if you got to 7, it was bad. Well, then they changed the scale to where, you know, 7 is harder to get to, even though you're past 7. They just changed the scale. I don't know.
Yeah, well, no, you're exactly right. Like there's a lot of tomfoolery going on with every aspect of this world. Like, did you ever see the movie Hunger Games?
No.
Okay, well, in the movie Hunger Games, they would basically go into this dome, right? And they could make the sky, you know, look like a real sky. They could make their real weather happen. They could make, you know, they could make you experience it like it's the real thing. Don't think that they're not doing that shit with our weather. Don't think that they're not doing that shit like to manipulate us. You know what I mean? To mess up our sleep schedules, to mess up our whole like internal clock and to keep us healthy.
Oh, my sleep. Look, I normally sleep 4 hours a night. You know what I mean? Been
Yep.
doing that all my life, basically. Here lately, guess what time I woke up this morning and I went to bed at 11? I woke up at 9. I'm like, man, there ain't no way. And then I have been sleeping like crazy. And like last week, I was so drained for some. And look, none of this stuff happened after I got that health survey. Man, I would sleep for 10 hours, get up at 8. I'd be laying back down by 10 in the morning, waking back up at noon, going back to bed at 2, waking back up at 4, laying back down at 6, and probably staying there all the way to the next morning. And I did that for 5 days straight. And that's not how I am at all.
That's not healthy.
No, I don't know what happened.
Well, I mean, maybe you needed that. You know what I mean? Maybe you don't feel that way now, do you?
Well, this morning I got up at 9. I'm out of bed before 6 every morning. You know what I'm saying? I've never slept to 9.
Yeah, no, I do.
Which that would be 8 if they hadn't switched. And see, that's another thing. Before the time changes is when my sleep starts going kind of haywire. I started staying up past 2 in the morning and stuff for no reason at all. I've been going to bed by 9, 10:30 the latest.
That's what I'm saying. Like there's just so much, like, have you ever personally been outside of this earth? Like how do you know that we're not in like an enclosed system right now? Just because NASA showed you pictures on your Google box? Like I'm not trying to go conspiratorial on there, but I'm just saying, like, can we really prove anything right now?
This is my deal. All right, let's go on the principle. And I've looked at what's his name? The guy that came up the Earth was round. I can't remember his name right now. But anyhow, I was looking into that, and it should be what, like 1 mile, the Earth's dropping 8 inches, right? According to that, and you can only see 3 miles, is what they're saying. And I'm like, now hang on.
I know.
Got these satellites, and look, this is how I look at it. There is something up in the sky. But the way they're saying they're taking pictures of a round globe Earth is ridiculous, because if you look at the scale of how big the Earth is, they're only 250 miles up at the highest.
It would not,
you wouldn't get high enough to see the roundness. You know what I'm saying?
You would not. It would be impossible to see it. That's
right.
What I'm saying. At that,
you can't see it.
No, if you took a globe and you're like, yeah, I'm going to take a picture of this thing, you'd have to go way, way far out, and cosmically,
right.
It would be so incredibly far. You know what I mean? Like thousands and thousands and thousands of miles away, and it's like, like we're not even a couple hundred miles up. Like you're not getting anything. You're not seeing shit.
We got an Enlighten raid going on, y'all. Thank you, Enlighten. Hey, Lucia D. Eric Garcia, that way.
That's
how
cool.
Y'all doing? Thank you, Enlighten. No, but I've been meaning to make a scale out of like 3,000 miles, right? 250 miles is only like the width of Tennessee. Think about it. Our atmosphere, I mean, you run out of oxygen at 14,000 feet. 14,000 feet's barely 7 miles, right? I mean, or that.
But that's not even atmosphere. They said this year they came out with a study that showed that the moon is within our atmosphere.
Yeah, well, so
if we're on a round ball, which I don't believe we are, but if they say we're on a round ball, then like bullshit. That's what I gotta say. Bullshit.
This is my deal. You know what I am? I'm a neither earther. I don't believe in either of them.
Me neither. That's what I'm saying.
I've come to believe it is like an infinite plane in a way, because I mean, who knows?
It's an infinite plane that sits there and manifests sacred geometry that comes up in the form of like formation. But unless there's an observer there to create it and to like render it, just like in a video game, if it doesn't render in front of you, then it's not like there. It's just in a holding pattern up here. And this is like your computer, and all of this is like the internet. You know what I mean? Like you're seeing me on your computer right now, but I'm not. There is no way that I'm inside of your computer. You know what I mean? This is just the way that it decodes me. Just like this is how you decode this earth in front of you, is with your brain. This is the computer, and this is all information that we're bringing in here.
Well, like I've always said, we did not come from this realm or whatever, and we're not going to stay here when we die. So this is a matrix of itself.
It is.
This is not where we truly are from or going back to.
Nope, you're exactly right. This is 100% a matrix, and I wouldn't even say that we're going to go anywhere so much as this is the illusion that's in front of us right now. We're already there. We're just having like an illusion that we're having a perception of reality right now. But it means something still. You can't say that it doesn't mean anything just because it's a game. It's an important one, because you might have to do this dumb shit again.
Well, look at it like this. Daggum, I lost train of thought. Hang on. Oh, okay. I know what I was going to say. No two people think exactly alike at all. I don't know. I don't care how close you are to thinking exactly the same. You might think the color blue I'm seeing is a different shade of blue or something, right? So that
Yep.
means your reality is still different than my reality. So there's no two realities exactly the same whatsoever.
You're exactly right. And so it's a lot about perception. And then there is like a hive mind collective consciousness that you can see happen whenever somebody gets triggered. You say something and it brings up a spout of their programming and they go, oh, no,
Yeah.
no, no,
Hey.
no. You know, they get like scared and they put their hands over their ears and go la 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 la. You know, like that's the programming, or they spout stuff that doesn't make any sense if you're logical, but that's what they've been programmed to say, and they just say it. You know.
Thank you, Enlighten, but you didn't have to do that. And let me throw this in there. Have you ever, and I run into this a lot, and I see it on TV a lot. I have talked, and it's only certain people, but while I'm talking to them, their mouth is moving the word. Have you ever seen that? When you're talking to somebody, they're
Yeah.
lipping exactly what you're saying. I've screwed them up before. I've sat there and stopped mid-sentence to see if their mouth keeps moving, and it does. Like they knew
It's
the
because
words
you're
that
like
were coming.
you're
What's
like
that?
just synced up. You're like synced up vibrationally.
Yeah, it's crazy.
There's a
Man,
lot more to the like, idea than what's actually going on, man. What were you saying?
Oh, I was just gonna say I appreciate that Raid Cafe and thanks for that $2. You didn't have to do it, honestly. I'll wind up with 60 cents of that. What I don't get on this revenue thing, I know how much people have donated on that super chat, and I don't even have a fourth of it. I have not even I got my AdSense saying I haven't even got the PIN number. And they sent it to me, and I did not do anything, and that money's disappearing on my YouTube.
That's pretty crazy.
I don't trust YouTube.
I don't trust YouTube, man. I don't trust none of this internet crap, man.
Well, let me tell you something. Back when I was younger, I used to get in little Cessna airplanes and stuff, and I used to in 30s. And when I look out the windows, I never saw any curvature whatsoever. Ever.
But were you even high enough to see a curvature, though? Like you were just saying, like
36,000 feet. Wouldn't that be high enough? 38,000 feet. I mean, you
well,
think see a little
just saying
something.
well maybe, but we were just saying about 250 miles and not being able to see the whole picture of the Earth at 36,000 feet. That's only like a mile. That's only like 5 miles up. That's hardly anything at all.
Well, yeah.
You know, I mean, but that's the thing though. If it was curved like they say it is, it's
You'd
8
see
inches.
it.
It's 8 inches per mile squared.
Right.
So it's 8. You know, like it goes like
8 on 2 miles. That would be what, 48
64
or 64. My bad. I'm a hillbilly.
I am too. I'm just, you know, but so that it would just go at such a high rate. Like it doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. It's a lie.
Well, look, when NASA and all them design these airplanes and they sit there, you know, they figure everything on a flat, non-moving Earth.
Yeah, like rail
Everything
people.
that calculates on a flat, non-moving Earth.
Yeah, there's no person out there laying like railroad tracks that sit there and take into account for curvature. Every single piece is straight. You know what I mean? Like it just, oh man, it just cracks me up, like the logical fallacies that people have in their brain with they believe what they were told because they were an authoritative person.
Well, check this out. Like sea level, all right? Everything's based off so many feet above sea level or below sea level, right?
Why?
Well, look at this. If you're on a round Earth and you got a mountain here and the sea's up here, I mean, aren't you below sea level?
At some point, it would seem that way, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't get it.
But if you get like an Olympic-sized swimming pool, right, and you don't have no like ruckus going on, and it just sits still, all water is flat. You know what I mean? It finds its level no matter how big the surface. It's impossible to have such a big surface that it curves around the surface. No, that doesn't make any sense at all. Like That doesn't make any sense. It would only make sense if it was flat and there were like continents around it. But in truth, I don't think that any of this physical world that we live in is actually physical. Just like it says in the Matrix, just because something's an electrical signal doesn't mean that it's real. You know what I mean? Like this is all just a game set up, maybe like a staging area for like our real soul. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to go again.
I've come to this where I don't really believe in reincarnation, but I think I've done some of this stuff before. But anyhow, my thought, and look, this is the weirdest thing. At about 33 years old, I was sitting there thinking one day, because I used to think it all the time to this point, and it hit me. I did something, I can't remember what it was, and I thought, well, I'll do it different next time. And it hit me. I was like, boom. Why have I been saying I'll do it different next time when this is, and that's what led me to believe maybe we have gone through multiple lives trying to get it right, but I feel like this time is the last time.
I don't think we have a choice after this. We're done.
That's what I'm saying. This is our last time. I mean, look, the stuff that's going on in this world, the Bible even says something about the world being as one, right? In the end times, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's a very good point. You know what I mean? Like everything is kind of funneling down like what they would like you to have perceptually, like in your mind. You know,
Yeah.
if you're in the Christian faith and you believe that this is Revelations, if you're just a straight up, agnostic prepper, then you're going to believe that this is the end times and what you've been planning for, the reduction of humanity. If you know what I mean? There is a cattle shop for every single demographic, but at the very base level of what's going on, we are in a cattle chute. Whether you think that it's the end times, for whether you believe, and it's the thing, you can believe it and it be your reality. That's true. You know what I mean? Like what I believe for me is that it's going to be a population reduction. I need to make sure that my seed gets through. I really regret getting a vasectomy a couple years ago. Maybe I'll have to repopulate, and I goofed up. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe an alien to come down and change that back for you.
I don't know, man. I don't know that I would even want.
Well, this is my deal. I think they're alien deception, or you know what I mean? They've been planning on that to try to bring in New World Order, and they realize that's not going to work. So they threw this virus in to really make it work. Because, I mean, what better?
It shuts everybody down up here. They're so afraid.
And then they got division in this virus. People are saying it's hoaxes, and people are saying this and that. When it is a real virus, but it's not any different than the regular flu. It's just they were able to track this one from start to now. I'm not going to say finished because it's not done.
Well, now, if you look at can I share my screen real quick here again?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to share. Let me pull this up here. Oh, how do I do? Okay, I guess I got to do this first. Share screen. Don't show me these tips again. Yeah, just share the screen. Bam. Okay.
All right. Boom.
All right. Are you good?
Yeah.
Okay, so we will go to South Korea. Okay. South Korea is probably by far one of the best examples of what we could see here, like legitimately. Okay, because we're testing people currently that we believe have an illness, okay? They are blanket testing people, okay? So they're going to get people who are negative as well. They're going to get people that are positive that you would have had no clue are positive. You know what I mean? So their numbers are, 53 deaths, 7,478, okay? Now, their death rate came out to be like 0.6% or something like that, like 0.5%. And that makes more sense than like the 3.4, but then again, it could be a different strain of it, you know what I mean? Because it all changes. But
well, look what they did up in Washington State. They based the number on 22% off that retirement home.
That's so dumb. Like you can't, come on, guys. Like use your brains. Like, yes, this thing is going to attack old people. Yes, the first place we found it was in an old person's home. That does not reflect how it's going to be for the rest of everybody that gets it, guys.
But yeah, they based it on a limited number of people, which was 160 something people, and so many people died, and that brought it down to this 22% kill rate. Yeah, if you got limited number of people, like 164, and how many ever died, 22 or whatever.
Yeah, it makes it way. It's artificially inflated, and that's because like if you went anywhere and you look in any state, I bet you'll find an old folks home where people die in it from the flu. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah,
what.
that's what the flu's been getting anyhow, is older people with respiratory problems.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like there hasn't been a child's case in this. This would be a really good way to like reduce the the population of people getting Social Security to help balance out things.
Well,
But
that Social Security, when they enacted that, you couldn't get it till you were 65, right? Well,
yeah,
back then, your average lifespan was only like 55. So they weren't expecting you to live past 55 to get your Social Security in the first place.
no, they didn't care. You know what I mean? They weren't setting you up for progression. They were setting you up for, you know, like 3 steps back, man.
Yeah.
Buoyancy. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Density, man. Did you ever drop a nickel in water versus like a wooden nickel? Like a little coin nickel. Sorry, I'm reading his thing there. But yeah, he's
Yeah.
exactly a flat earth preacher. Like it's density. It's not gravity. All things gravity could be explained by density. Look at a cup of water and a piece of wood.
But you know what trips me out? Copper and magnets. You can get a big slab of copper right here and swing a magnet to it, and it will. You can have a magnet on a string and swing it toward that copper. It will not touch the copper. You believe
Well,
that? You can
that's
drop
because
it through a copper tube, and it looks like it's floating weightlessness down through it.
Now that's how how like a smaller lawnmower works. You've got the magneto, and you've got you got a copper coil, and it pushes against the magnet. It pushes off of the magnet. You know what I mean? And then the copper coil creates like a current of electricity that's harnessed for the for your your spark. It's the same way with every type of generator. You know what I mean? That's basically a small generator that you have right there.
Well, what I did? I watched, that Coral Castle guy down in Florida, right? I can't remember his name right now. But I ordered his book. It was like a diary of his that he sat there and wrote down his experiments in detail. And I ordered that book, and I'm going to try to manipulate what he was doing. Because he was using basically frequencies to cause a buoyancy to make these slabs of coral float up like if they were on water, but it was using frequencies or magnetics.
It's like what is it called? It's like
Resonance frequency or something.
Yeah, they like it's the same way that they make things hover too. They can make like what they do is they take like 2 pieces of copper and then they send like a vibration through the middle of it and it creates like a floating resonance or something. I don't know. I'm not you know what I mean? I'm not a scientist, but that's basically like the idea of it. Like that's how like the Nazis were creating like. Did you ever see like the Nazi bell? That's what they did.
Yeah.
It was like a frequency generator. You know what I mean?
Isn't the Nazi bell what crashed up in Pennsylvania, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Something like that. You don't remember that?
I know.
Or maybe that was England.
I don't know. The Nazi bell is like the thing that they were trying to like they're basically like experimenting with it. There's a bunch of they say that there was actually usable ones after this. That was a propaganda video that they never got it, which they really did, which I don't doubt, not for 1 second. Just like the Flugel rods, you know what I mean? Like the Foo Fighters, back in World War II, like there's shit's been going on, you know what I mean? Energies or aliens or demons, whatever you want to call it. There's something out there bigger than us.
Oh yeah. And all knowledge has been on this earth before.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's nothing new under the sun.
Nothing. It's called the Akashic Records. You know what I mean? Like you can, tap into like knowledges that you just haven't had access to unless you wake up. You got to wake up a little bit. And that sounds like, oh, I know about my government. No, you're not awake, buddy. Like that's a very small portion. That's where you start out at. But there is a big road that you got to go down to truly wake up.
And it's so many different things. It'd be impossible for one person to figure it all out.
No, you can't. That's the greatest part. You don't have to. Screw it. It's kind of like one of my obsessions, like a passion, just absorbing useless information that everybody's going to think I'm a lunatic for.
I don't think you are. No.
There's no question.
There's no question that you're a lunatic. No, I'm joking. But that's like my own family. They think I'm crazy because I talk about these planes spraying that stuff out and changing the weather and stuff like that.
Me too. But they're allowed to, you know what I mean? They're not at that point where if they can't see it, and whenever you're talking to them, just like you said, if you think you're seeing something blue, and in my reality, it might still be called blue, but it looks red. You know what I'm saying? Like there is nothing, there is nothing that you're going to be able to say to them. It's easier to trick somebody than to convince somebody that they're being tricked.
You see what Flat Earth Preacher said, right?
No, it says you
are got me once. There's a picture of me, Flat Earth.
Take it easy, to put a jacket on you if you keep going in that direction. Well, hey, man, I've been noted to say that I believe that it's not necessarily a flat Earth. I don't believe in that, but I don't believe in a round Earth either. I believe in like a conglomeration of that plus your soul, as being the projector.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to. All I know is this is a proving ground, regardless if it's round or flat. This is where we prove our worth to go to heaven or not. You know what I mean? This is where we learn if we're the rights and wrongs. You can either be right or you can be wrong.
Yeah.
Well, check this out. If God had a problem with some of his angels and had to cast them out, and he's still trying to make angels, well, he's going to figure out a way to test where he allows them in heaven, right? So what better way?
Yeah, I guess. No, that's exactly right. It makes sense to me. It makes sense to me if you're thinking in that mind frame. Yeah, for sure. But hey, man, it's almost o'clock here. I've got to get off because I got to wake up real early with kids in the morning. I really appreciate this, though, dude. This was good. We should do this again.
All right, yeah, I got your email.
Yeah, for real, dude.
We got mine now since I emailed you. So.
Yeah, I've got your email now. I'll definitely keep a hold of it. How many people are watching?
It's showing 6 right now.
Cool. Well, hey guys, thank you very much. I had like subs.
I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Anytime, dude. I've got all the time in the world, and I feel like we're gonna have a lot more time to, in the near future, like very near future.
If this stuff stays up.
Well, I'm thinking at least with the stock market taking a poop,
What I mean, if they sit there and quarantine everybody, who's going to be making sure the cell towers are putting out? You know what I'm saying? It's.
Well, that's a good point too. Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Well, we need to get. We need to make
some paranoia in the house.
Rainbow Paranormal. Wow, that's a pretty cool looking thing.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Flat Earth. No, I saw a beta change on his station. He wanted to share his stream, but he can't because what are you streaming off of? Just a webcam, I guess.
Yeah, I'm going on YouTube and just pressing the little webcam that has a little plus symbol in the middle of it.
So I got a hold of him. I was like, hey, look, if I start up a StreamYard, would you come on? He said, yeah, and that's what we did. I wanted him to be able to show what he was talking about that map. And we accomplished that.
Yeah, and you got keep a hold of that, in my old chat, I don't know if you've seen it or not. I could still email you like a copy of how to get to that. I don't know if you're like used to that or not. I've got it like bookmarked to where I can just click on it on my computer and it takes me there in 2 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, I can click on the thing. I can make it bookmarked after I go there.
Yeah, that's what I appreciate. Yeah. But anyways, I got to get going here. Thank you everybody for, watching and, subbing and everything. So peace out, man. It was good.
Thank you, Big Change. You have a blessed night. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all coming in. Lucy D, I appreciate you coming back. Flat Earth Preacher. I don't, you see where I stand, so I, I'm I'm having a hard time with all of it. But Hydrobot, I hope y'all make that lasagna like I like it. But yeah, I was in bed and I saw Big Change come on. I talked to him and I had to come out here and get this stuff going. Try to get, no, but y'all be sure to get what you need because the supply shipment has stopped. There's a channel called A Wake Up, and she's been doing a live feed from it's some major port in California. I can't remember where it was at now. And there's no cargo ships coming in at all. Yeah, thank you, Born Racer. I didn't know you're still here. But yeah, it's getting late here. It's almost it's almost midnight, y'all. But I do appreciate y'all coming in. And y'all have a blessed night. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to end this stream. And applesauce. Hang on. I might not. What are you doing, applesauce? I haven't seen you in forever. All right, I'm gonna chit chat for a minute. Applesauce is in the house. If y'all don't have applesauce, go over there and get her channel. But applesauce, you haven't posted anything in 4 months. I just went to your channel today. 4 months. Where you been? Say everybody, hey, applesauce. Uh-oh. Hey, Cafe. I'm gonna drop the link for you. Hang on. You want to come up for a bit? If I can figure out how to do this. Hey, endangered species. Come on up. Applesauce, if you want to come up, you can come up too. But there you go, Enlighten, if you want to come up. I'll return the favor. I was on your daggum panel for over 5 hours, buddy. 5 hours. That's a long time. I had Kick. Well, I did a live stream today. I had Kicking with Ben on, then Super Dave come on, and then People's Last Stand came on, and then Ben Time Traveler came on. I did a 4-hour live stream today. It was crazy. Can't believe old applesauce is in the house. It's been a while. I haven't heard anything scream out in the woods yet lately. But it's been crazy, y'all. You ain't working, are you, Cafe? Still got Jenny B in the house. Endangered Species, Born Racer, Rainbow Paranoia, Lucy D. We got all the big names up in the house today. Oh, I don't have my green screen going. Well, it's blue screen, not green. Hang on, let me. I'm learning to mute that mic so when I cough, I don't blow y'all's eardrums out. I don't cough that often, but I cough enough. Yeah, Born Racer. Did you get those clothes done the other day? But yeah, Super Dave put out a pretty good little video talking about the food supply, and he's somewhere where he's kind of got firsthand knowledge. He's saying the supermarkets after this week are not going to be able to restock their shelves. The big box stores. So if y'all haven't got some stuff saved up, you need to, which I pretty much have already. Yeah, Racer, you know, that's the most viewed video I have. Well, I mean, I don't see how it is. I mean, according to my analytics, it is. But the Delphi murder one, I've got over, what, 3,000 something views on it. Yeah, that was funny. That was, man, I don't know. My computer, somehow they put a virus in there because everything, I'd watch a video and Richie from Boston sounded like a daggum chipmunk. I mean, anything I watched, it was a chipmunk. I actually had to sit there and just, what do you call it, go back to factory default to make it work right. Yeah, that was funny though. We got to laughing so hard, man. My stomach hurt for like 3 days, and then I tried to make a excerpt of that. Man, I laughed my butt off. I made a little 10-minute excerpt of that live. Cafe was in here. Oh, there he is. Cafe raid again. Thank you, Cafe. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's been a long day for. I don't know how it's been long, man. I got up at 9 this morning, and that don't make any sense to me. Can you still get a hold of the link, Cafe? Or do I need to put it back in there again? Man, I got this bump. Wait a minute. Right there, man. I don't know why. Can you share the news? What news? Thank you, Big Change. I appreciate you coming up here. All right, Cafe. Yeah, Beta Change. I don't know how I ran into him. I guess I got on one of your lives or something. I was like, this guy's all right. All right, Cap. Man, so I don't know if y'all can hear it or not. It's supposed to rain all the way through. We're supposed to get storms at like 6 in the morning tomorrow or today. I guess it's today now. All right, Cafe. Mighty Mark, what's going on, man? What's going on? I can't believe applesauce is in the house. You must have read my mind because I was thinking, man, I wish applesauce come back in the chats during my. I was fixing to message you and ask you to please come to one of my live streams. I guess you read my mind. There's other things on my mind. I don't know if you read that or not. No tornadoes. West Tennessee. I was just south of, well, Nashville's almost 200 miles away from me. Nashville's like northeast of me. But we had tornadoes. We had like those like 30 miles north of me, and then they lifted up, and then they dropped back down in Nashville. It was the same storm that come through. It was just crazy, man. Today it's been like windy and oh, it just now started raining. I don't know if y'all can hear that on this tin roof. But man, look, I'm here out. I'm in a t-shirt at midnight. It's like 60 degrees. Oh hell, you're in New Zealand? Well, you know what? Ben Time Traveler was talking about he went to his bank to get $2,000 out, and they told him it was a $1,500 limit. So the banks are getting low, and I give credit to Ben Time Traveler. He's trying to let people know the banks are low on money because evidently, according to what I've heard, the money, the physical money, would be shipped from China to here because our money's winding up over there. I hope that's Cat. We got Cafe in the house. What's going
Yo,
on,
what
Cafe?
up? What up, brother? That was a good stream earlier.
Well, thank you.
I like when people talk about this coronavirus because every time somebody brings it up, I learn something different and get a different perspective.
All right. What'd you get out of that one?
Well, they're not really reporting the numbers like they should.
Yeah.
I feel like it's so much worse than what they're telling us. You know, they only tested 3,200 people in the United States.
Yeah, they ain't testing here. That's how they're keeping the numbers low.
So how are they getting all these accurate reports? And they only tested 3,000 people.
Well, that's the whole deal. They can say they're testing people, but yet they're not testing like they should be. You know how they do. You can take a chart, you can take a bar chart or a pie chart and make something that's bad look good. You know what I mean?
Yes, you can. And all they're worried about is price gouging and toilet paper. Come on, man.
Oh man, they're showing these stores ain't got any toilet paper, and they're saying the stores are having to hide the toilet paper in the back, put a little bit on the shelf. When they snatch that up, they put a little bit more on the shelf. That gets snatched up. They put a little bit. It's crazy.
Hey, you still with me?
Yeah, you hear me? I've got rain.
Hello.
I've got rain coming in.
Oh shit! Is that what that's all about?
Yeah, I'm here. It happened earlier. I got the bad weather, you know.
Well, I wanted to come up here and tell you guys, don't give up on the coronavirus just yet. You know what I mean? Because this is a hot topic. This is going to affect the way we live for years to come.
Oh yeah.
Bro, there's so much going on. I don't even think it has anything to do with a virus. I think they're going to crash the markets. They're going to make us run out of resources. They're going to try to bring chaos to the streets.
New world order.
New world order, brother.
Yeah.
And the people are just like, hey, I still got Facebook. I'm okay. Wake the fuck up, people. I don't mean to curse on your channel, but wake up.
Enlighten, when have you not cursed on my channel?
Yo, it's great to see Applesauce. It's funny you said that because I just was on her channel yesterday too.
Really?
Yep. I think I left her a comment.
Yeah, I went over there this morning and I'm like, that gum, she hadn't updated anything, hadn't uploaded anything new. And I was like, man, I thought this. I'm like, man, I wish she'd come in one of my live streams. And dadgum, if she didn't. Power of thought, man. Power of thought.
Yo, but for sure.
Check this out. Our economic collapse was coming anyhow, and they needed something to blame it on, so it wouldn't show how bad America was. You know, we've been in an economic bubble that's about to pop for years.
Yeah. So there's not enough resources. There's not enough physical goods on this world that can pay back the debt that we owe.
Oh, no. And look, the stock market lost over $6 trillion today. You know how many people lost their retirement?
Yeah, that's a big scam. That's the biggest scam going, is that stock market.
Yep. Hell, they shut it down for 15 minutes to reset it. They were trying to figure out what's going on. They cranked it back up, and it's still do.
Listen, I've lived in the woods in a tent behind Walmart. You know what I'm saying? So if something bad does happen, I at least have some kind of training on, you know, how to survive, because I did it with nothing. You know what I mean?
Hell, I got stranded in Florida, no money. I had to live on Black River in Crestview, Florida for like 2 weeks. Nothing to cook anything in. Man, I was eating raw potatoes because I happened to have a bag of potatoes. It was terrible.
It was terrible. You did what you had to do.
Yeah.
But that's an experience that you had already. A lot of these people ain't never had no kind of hardships. And I'll tell you what, buddy, and I'm not being a fear monger, but we've been telling people, and they think we're crazy. You're doing shit to the skies. Be prepared. The New World Order's coming. And John Boy, guess what? I think it's here, buddy.
Oh, I do too. Hey, this is 2020 and Agenda 21 is coming in 2021. And they have ramped it up. They have ramped it up, buddy.
Yo, they declared federal emergencies in New Jersey, New York, Florida, California.
It'd be easier to say there's not one in 12 states.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think you're right, right?
That means there's like what? Oh, you got 50, 12. I can't do the math. What, 38 states that are in a declared emergency?
No, the next step is the martial law.
Oh, yeah.
They already said that these medical emergencies, they can limit your travel. They can restrict your travel.
Well, look what Russia's doing. They put you in a quarantine, and if you get out to try to travel, you're looking at 5 years imprisonment.
I heard they were welding doors shut on certain people in certain countries.
I wouldn't doubt it. I just don't know how to take this. I mean, I'm not scared.
Well, you're in the truth community, right? So you're naturally skeptical of a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah.
John, they only tested 3,000 people.
Yeah.
So it's not the virus. It's all the other shit that's coming along with it. The stock market, the quarantines.
Look, the prescription medicines are fixing to end because all our prescriptions are made overseas. There's nothing being shipped over here.
In China and India, right?
Yeah, and look how many people are dependent on this stuff. It'll kill them off. And then on top of not getting medications here that people need to live, which I don't need any medications, the food chain, even the supplies, toilet paper and stuff, where does that come from?
I mean, no more good old USA, I guess, right?
When they sat there and made it to where they wanted all the American companies to go overseas to do what they do, and it was greed, man. They put all their companies over in China because they can sit there and basically what it costs them a day to pay Americans to do, they could pay a month. What am I trying to say? In 1 month in China would equal what they had to pay in 1 day in America. You know what I'm saying? And then they'd ship that stuff back to America and make a profit.
And not only that, they take all this paper money, right? They put all this inflated dollars that we have, right? And they're taking physical goods, plastics, electronics, cars, medicine, all this stuff that really resourceful stuff, and we're giving them fake paper money that's got an inflated value to it for real stuff, dude. It's the biggest scam going. It's like giving Monopoly money, you know?
Promissory note. It even says it on the bills. Promissory note.
It's like me saying, here, some Monopoly money for your laptop. And then you're getting a fake paper for something real. You know, on a global scale.
Yeah.
How did you expect this not to collapse? People need to be worried, bro. And it's not about the virus. I get that. You don't think you got to worry about the dying.
Exactly. It's what they're using the virus to accomplish. They're trying to herd everybody into doing what they want them to do.
And they're doing it. Be prepared, guys. Stock up. If you can, stock up.
I'm glad I've been stocked up for over a year now. I mean, I can make it for 6 months, no problem. It's just crazy. What have you been doing, Cafe?
I'm working right now.
Oh, are you? Well, I appreciate you taking the time out of work. Oh, man.
You know how we do it.
Yeah.
We do it for the love, right?
Man, I had no idea I was fixing to go live, but Beta Change did a live, and he wanted to show his map of what he was trying to talk about, but he couldn't do it because, he just had to go through YouTube, right? So I was in his chat, and I'm like, look, if I start up a StreamYard, you want to be a guest? And he's like, yeah. I was in the house in my long johns, man. I had, get some pants, shoes on, come out here and get the shop opened up, get the computer fired up. But, man, to me, it's worth it. If we can get information out there, let's do it.
Yeah. Continue to pump that information, John. Like, I got to go to work. I can't do it all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? When you get a chance, let people know, man, be on alert, be skeptical, question everything right now. And yeah, it might not be about the virus, but there's something tremendous going on a global scale. It's not just America. It's not just Tennessee. It's not New Jersey. This is Italy, Iran, China, Russia, America.
It's how they're going to impose the New World Order. I mean, what better way than cause a worldwide problem where everybody's affected, not infected, affected, and go, the only way we can solve this world problem is to become a one world nation.
Yep. Well, they're going to have to, because everything's going to reset. Everything's going to close down. The airlines, the food, everything's going to close down. Right?
Look, people don't think about it, and I've said this a couple of times. Hollywood is fixed to have a problem. Think about it.
What's that?
Hollywood. They're not going to be able to make the movies and stuff they've been making. Think about it. It's fixed to shut down Hollywood. On top of that, look, the new James Bond coming out, they're not going to release it now because of the coronavirus. But
that's interesting.
Think about it. They're scared to release the new James Bond because they don't want to get a bunch of people together. Well, if everybody's quarantining everybody's countries and states and stuff, how the movie people in Hollywood going to make movies?
What about the professional sports too?
Well, that too. They're doing sports with nobody in the stands already.
Yo, this is getting ridiculous.
Yeah. And I have yet to meet somebody sick.
Me neither.
I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, you're probably not going to. They only tested 3,000 people.
I mean, we shouldn't be laughing, but I mean, if you think about it, that's so corny. I mean, really? Is this government that? What word am I trying to say?
Do they think we're that stupid?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, gullible. I mean, and that's like Trump up there saying, "Oh, this is nothing to worry about. We've got it all under control." Yeah, don't test anybody. The numbers won't grow. I mean, yeah, that's under control, ain't it?
Yep. And you know what else is funny? They ain't had a mass shooting an active shooter since this whole thing broke out. Maybe that one, but that's it.
You know, I was thinking that too. There hadn't been any mass shootings. There hadn't been anything really. What does that say? Stephanie Blooms, how you doing? Cafe raid
Oh.
again. Got a cafe raid going on.
Well, I left the video up.
Okay. Hey, thanks for that $2.
No
Boy,
problem.
get out of that about $1.30.
Yo, they add up though. They really do.
Mine's subtracting.
It
Look,
is.
Yeah, I know. At one point I had, like almost $60 worth of super chats. I can't find but $24 on this thing. Anyway, I mean, I haven't taken anything out. I didn't even get my AdSense count going yet.
Well, it goes away. It goes away every 28 days. So after the day, every day it'll go down.
Really? What,
Yeah, but it's
interest?
still building up. No. It's still the same. It's just not showing you on the analytics.
Oh, okay.
You go back.
Oh,
It goes from 28 days to 90 days. So if you go like the whole 90 days or the whole lifetime, you'll see everything in there.
well, I have, and it don't go up as high as what I know is come in. For real.
Yeah, it doesn't go away. You'll get it.
Okay. Well, I mean, like I said, I'm not busting.
And you know
my
what the
butt
best
trying to
part
get
is?
to it. What's that?
You can link the AdSense to your Cash App.
I don't have a Cash App.
Well, it's free to create one. They won't let you link it to the PayPal, but you can link it to the Cash App, which is funny.
Really?
Yeah, Google won't let you link it to their own company, which is PayPal.
I'm gonna leave that one alone. I don't want to even try to think it. What?
Yo, they don't
I'm
even
so
trust themselves.
confused. That's crazy.
Yo, how funny is that? That is crazy, right?
That is crazy. I mean, it's like what? They need a third party in there? I mean, what? I don't get it.
I don't know, but Cash App don't take any money out. If it went to your PayPal, they would take more money out on top of what they already took out. So that's a good thing.
Really?
Yeah, they're
Why
probably
not?
they're just probably preventing that class action lawsuit that would come with that. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. That's crazy.
Yeah, create you I'll send you the invitation, John Boy, so we each get money for doing it, all right?
So we can do what?
I will send you the invitation to Cash App, so they'll give us each $10.
Oh, okay. They'll figure out how to get that back. Watch.
Oh, I'm sure of it.
I don't know, man. This whole YouTube, Google stuff is all crazy. It's just totally crazy. What is that? Jenny B says I'm live streaming for moderators. How do you do that? Or what does that mean?
It means come in and she's going to give you a rent. You don't have
Oh, I got one. I think.
I'm away from my phone right now. My phone's all the way across the room charging.
Oh, well, you got Bluetooth going on or something?
Yeah. Something like that. I'm on the headphones.
Yeah. Stephanie Bloom said, when I become monetized, whenever that may occur, Brother Enlighten will be my teacher. What does it say? I'll nerd your knowledge, brother. And you
We
know
will
what?
show you the way.
Hey, look what I've been doing since you did this the other day when I was on panel. You said don't use the word but, use the word however.
Right.
Anytime I go to write but, I stop myself and I put however in quotation marks. It looks so funny when I read it.
It works better, right?
Yeah, I mean, however, but yeah, it's just weird. You take but out of it and it does look different. It gives a whole different meaning. Because but sounds like an excuse, and however means, well, this is how it is, or something. I don't know. It's just weird. There's a difference. Yeah, we have.
Who we got? Hodgepodge?
No, Hyderabad said we have seen some crazy things these last few years. We've seen more than a few.
Yeah, more than a few, buddy. Think back in a couple year review. What about the Paradise wildfires?
Oh man, look at Australia. That makes paradise look like nothing.
Yeah, look at the Amazon.
Yeah, they're just they're destroying us.
Maybe
And then
we're destroying us by our own greed.
I'm watching 60 Minutes and they're telling me that trees make the earth hotter. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me. I mean, whenever I walked in the woods in the summertime, it was a lot cooler. You know what I mean?
I mean, I would like to think so.
They're trying to say grasslands make it cooler. I'm like, how is that possible? Because it's actually heating the ground up more, and that ground's going to hold heat longer. Those trees are putting shade on that ground, and it's not absorbing the heat. And the trees are putting out cooler oxygen.
Yeah, and I'll also tell you that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself.
Yeah, yeah, that's a funny one there. I don't even think he's dead. He's not dead. I mean,
I don't think
have you ever heard anybody getting rolled out of somewhere totally exposed where everybody can see a dead man on a gurney?
Yeah. Never.
Never. I mean, every movie I ever seen anybody died, they put a white sheet over them or something, right? I mean, even you have a car wreck, they're holding up blue tiles where you can't see. I mean, come on, they're going to roll this guy through the prison, open on a gurney.
Paraded them right out.
What are you trying to do? Traumatize the other inmates? You're next. I mean, what?
Yep. Think about it.
Dead. He's sitting on a beach alongside old Slick Willie. They're sipping on martinis right now, stroking on some little boy's back.
Him and Kobe Bryant, right?
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Think he's dead either.
Might not be. Oh, what was that I saw? Man, I can't even think now. What was that rock and roll band that sat there and got killed in the plane crash? Damn. I know there's been a bunch of them, but I can't remember.
Recently?
No, it's been a while back, but was it one Leonard Skinner? It was dadgum, I can't think of who it was. But anyhow, they're doing interviews with this guy. And I'm like, I thought he was dead.
Which one? Like Buddy Holly or something?
No, it was kind of on the Motley Hatchet kind of era. I can't. Damn, my mind just went blank on me. It wasn't Steppenwolf. Who the hell was it? It was something. Dude had a beard and stuff. Who was it? Man, that's terrible, man. My mind is gone.
Oh, I know you're talking about Jim Croce.
No. I can't remember.
It's
And
funny how they
I,
all die in plane crashes, right?
yeah, it wasn't Jimmy Ray Vaughan either, Jenny. I'm trying to. It was somebody in that era, though. It was that era of singers. I'm trying to think. I think it crashed in Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. And they got a memorial set up.
Ozzy Osbourne's guy, Randy Rhoads.
Ozzy Osbourne's still alive, ain't he?
Yeah, but his guy, remember Randy Rhoads, his protege?
Oh, okay. Man, I just can't keep up with all of it anymore.
So I'm saying they all die in plane crashes, right? Uh-huh.
Yeah, mysteriously. Look at old Davey Allison, the NASCAR guy. He died in a helicopter crash.
Yeah, his whole family, right?
Yeah, going to the racetrack.
Him and Hendrix, too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy.
I think it's full of shit, John boy. I think they sold out.
Was it Steppenwolf? Hang on. What? I can't remember. Man, that's bugging me now. Hey, Miss Things, how you doing? What? What'd you say?
Yo, Miss Things. Love and prayers, mama.
She said, Cafe Raid, sorry I'm late. You're never late if you make it.
Always on time.
Yeah. There's no appointment here. No, it wasn't Waylon, Jenny. It'll hit me after I end this. I'll lay down and it'll be like a hammer hitting me in my head. Boom! Why couldn't I remember that then? You know, one of those deals. And I like the music, and I can't even think of a song. If a song would come to mind, I'd know who I was talking about. Man. But yeah, it's just crazy out here. I'm surprised the stream is going out with all this rain is happening.
How many we got in the chat? You've been holding steady. You were about to sign off. The thing went up to 15 people.
Yeah, it's back down to 6 now.
I said, ain't that some stuff? I said, he's about to go off, and he goes up to 15 people.
Yeah, that was weird. I'm fixing to sign off. The next thing I know, it's coming up, and you come in again, and I'm like, shoot. Damn, I done lost the cat too much. Where the hell did that go? You would think if you dropped something at your feet, you would be able to find it.
Yeah, you would think, right?
Not at Johnny's house. That's crazy. I mean, look, I don't drink Coca-Colas. I quit drinking them like 8 months ago. But I had one on backup, and because I knew I was out of coffee. I spun the cap off, and it disappeared on me.
Yeah, you ever do something like that where you do something right in front of you and it just disappears totally out of existence?
Yeah, all the time. Or to wind up 20 feet from where you dropped it at. And it's like, how did it get way over there? Shoot, I even got the old mag light out looking, and I can't find it. That is crazy.
Oh, shit's serious now.
Yeah. I feel like Inspector Gadget. You remember that old stupid commercial, cartoon?
Yep.
You remember Hong Kong Phooey?
Yep. That was the best.
Yeah, those were the good old days. I finally found it. Thank goodness. There was a dadgum show that used to come on when I was a kid, and nobody remembers it but me. It had Jim Neighbors. and it had that one girl from Saturday Night Live that'd been on there forever, and it was called Lost Saucer, and they were aliens in a flying saucer, and they were lost in space, and they'd land on different planets. And nobody remembers that, huh?
I never heard of it.
Really? So that's what I mean. Nobody ever heard of it. It was back when you remember Land of the Lost with the sleeve stacks and stuff.
Yep.
It was back during that era, but nobody remembers it. It's crazy. Man, I have been sleeping some hours, Cafe. I don't know what my problem is.
Yo, me too. Either I can sleep a lot or I can't sleep at all.
Yeah,
There's no in between. I get really tired or I just can't fucking sleep. And I'll be super tired and I still can't sleep.
it's weird. Shoot, I woke up this morning. It was 9 o'clock. I've never slept at 9 o'clock in my life, except for maybe after partying. You know, that's expected. But I,
Bro, it went from 21 degrees to 45 in like an hour.
oh, well, look, I'm out here in my shop at what 12:30 at night in a t-shirt.
Yeah, it must have got hot where you're at too. It was up to
It's in the-
73 degrees.
Yeah, it's 60 now. It was 66. Hell, the other day it was 74, and like 2 days before that, it was 22 degrees.
Yeah, it don't make sense, does it?
Unless this virus thrives in heat, and they're trying to add more heat to the country. I mean, everybody's warming up.
I think it's the MCO, brother. I think that plasma's gonna hit.
Yeah. Well, check this out. What was I going to say? Hang on. Or go ahead. I forgot I forgot as fast as I was going to say it.
I think we're due for a corona mass injection, like a solar flare.
Oh yeah.
Isn't it funny because that's the name of it too, corona mass injection? You ever think of that? Yeah, it's called a CME, like a solar flare.
Oh yeah. We had one a couple of days ago that I saw.
Corona mass injection.
Miss Thing said, "Hello, John Boy and Cafe. Interesting Thing said, hey too."
Howdy, brother.
And then she said, "Interesting Things has been sleeping a lot too, John Boy." It's just weird. Hey, Jarvis 346.
Yo, Jervis.
Man, I guess I blocked him way back when all that crap happened. I told people if they didn't have content on their channel, they were gone. And I blocked a lot of people, and I felt bad about doing that. I unblocked everybody, but nobody knew I did, I don't guess.
Yeah, Jervis is awesome. Don't block him.
Oh, I'm not. He's in here. Oh.
In fact, he mentioned that to me the other day.
Yeah.
I was going to see if he was still blocked, if he's going to block him. I'm glad you did.
The only thing blocked on this channel now are straight up troll channels. If they're coming in here trolling, they are blocked. Hey, check this out. You know that Trap Town and Trap Drip?
Yeah.
There's a new one called Trap Star. Look, they started their channel February the 17th of this year and got 22,000 subscribers and only had 3 videos. And it was the same 3 videos that come from Trap Drip.
Yeah, because they comment on every one of my videos and say, "Can we be friends?"
This one said, "Keep it up, guy." That's what it said. Keep it up, guy.
Damn, dude. I might have to start doing that.
It's just weird. I found one. There's another trap drip I found. Guess how many subscribers it had?
How many?
22.5 million.
No.
Yeah. And it started in I think it was 2016 though. But it had 22.5 million. Yeah. That must be an AI bot.
That's like Barry and Larry. You seen them?
Uh-uh.
They started last year and they got over, 500,000 subscribers with no content. Barry versus Larry.
Really?
Yep.
How's that possible?
Bro, I don't fucking know, dude.
I mean, you know how hard we had to work to get to where we're at.
I
And
had to work my ass off to get 1,000.
yeah.
Who the fuck just subscribes to Barry or Larry?
And with no content. It just doesn't make sense. Oh, we got 9 in the chat.
That's the Jervis and them probably shared you out.
Ain't nobody else speaking though.
They like to listen sometimes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do a little lurking myself.
Sometimes I'm at work. I can't type interactive, but I can listen.
Yeah, I got what there is a trap star now also. I just saw. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Born Racer Trap Star. Started their channel in February of this year and got 22,000 subscribers. And then there's another one that started theirs in 2016 called Trap Star. It's got 22 million subscribers. And it's all some sort of, I don't know what, it's almost like rap, but it's not rap. I don't know how to explain the music.
It's just beats, right? It's like instrumental, like copyright free stuff.
Yeah, it's something. Hey, Return of Cat's Eyes is back. How you doing, Return of Cat's Eyes? Well, thank you, Charles. Yeah, I hadn't seen her in a while, and I saw her go live, and I was lurking. I just lurked and listened.
Yo, Kicking with Ben, is that Ben Time Traveler? That's the same one?
No, Kicking with Ben is he's a old country guy from Florida. Ben Time Traveler, he's from up in Michigan. Kicking with Ben, he's a trip, man. I just ran into him. I ran into him at China Miss Jones's channel.
Yeah,
China
he's
Miss
a trip,
Jones,
right?
yeah, China Miss Jones is cool too. This is the first time I ever really got to talk to her person to person. Was on your panel that time. I followed her, man. I followed her back in the G Plus days. I've known her for
That's
a
what
while.
I'm saying. We got to start bringing these communities back together. You know what I mean? We got divided on some bullshit, so now we got to bring everybody back together. You know?
Well, ever since we did that live, or I got on your panel the other day, everything's starting to feel complete now. I mean, it's weird. It's been like I've missing a spoke for a while.
Right? Yo, it's funny too because people have been coming back around too. Like, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel a lot better now. I ain't lying. And ever since that happened, I gained 40 people that day. Would you believe
You
that?
did?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's crazy, ain't it?
Yo, we had a lot of people in that chat, believe it or not. We were up to like 25 people rocking for at least an hour.
I think you hit about 30 at one point, or a little over. For a split second at least.
We don't get a lot of numbers because YouTube don't support us. You know what I mean? They don't put us out there.
Yeah. Well, that's like, People's Last Stand tells me he don't get a notification until after my live ends. So that's the reason I have to send him my hangouts and let him know. Well, thank you, Miss Thing. Miss Thing said, glad to see y'all back together.
Yeah, man.
But Kicking with Ben, I don't know, man. He's been on my panel twice now. He's a trip. Yep. He likes that Bargs root beer. But it is in a silver can. I doubt if it's Barks.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. Man, I was sitting there watching one of his lives the other day, and in the background on the front porch, it looked like a casket. I'm like, dude, is that a casket on your front porch? He's like, yep. He builds caskets.
He does?
Yeah. But yeah, he's a trip.
I want to get an RV, and I want to go across. I want to go visit Slab City.
Oh man, I heard that's
Wouldn't that be cool to get a couple of us YouTubers together though, and go out there?
I've thought about checking it out myself, but they got their own law and order out there. It's like the Wild West.
Well, we're not going to take over. I mean, people do go in there.
No,
to see,
that.
you know?
But what I worried about, and I thought about doing it by myself, that's where the problem is. I don't think you want to go in there by yourself.
Yeah, you don't want to spend nights in there, but if we rent like an RV, we can all go check it out.
That would be cool. We might not want to leave.
I know, right? I mean, I want to do some of this stuff before it's too late.
Yeah. Who knows? That might be the only place in America not affected.
Well, it's definitely not getting tested.
Yeah. Well, they're out in the middle of nowhere. They should be. They're pretty much quarantined already. You know what I mean?
Yeah, self-sustaining.
Yeah. That would be a trip. I'd like to go out there and just see how they do that. Do they have power out there, or?
No, I heard the ones that do have generators and solar power.
I wonder what they do for water. They got a well. They got to sit there and use a rope and pull the bucket up, or they got some sort of hand pump, or I got a lot of questions about it.
I heard there's an aqueduct that used to be a Navy base.
Well, that would work. Well, when we're gonna go check it out?
I don't know. Maybe this summer we'll try to put something together on the fly. You know?
Yeah.
If somebody has an RV and wants to take a trip and meet up with a couple of YouTubers, we'll have to start asking around, you know?
Yeah. Jenny said she's buying a camper.
Well, hell, we'll ride with her.
Yeah, we can find an old school bus. We can anything like that. Oh man, check this out. I've been forgetting to say this, and I'm gonna say it now. Was it yesterday or the day before? Anyhow, I happened to be out in my drive. I was at my Jeep, right? And I heard something coming down the road, and I looked up, and it was this rent one, those box trucks like a Budget or a U-Haul or whatever.
Yeah.
But it had rent one on the side, and it was all faded out, but it was shiny new looking, right? Right behind it was a white brand new Explorer with black tinted windows. And then right behind that was like a black Expedition. And then right behind it was another brand new white Explorer tinted windows. And behind that was another white Explorer tinted windows.
What the hell?
Yeah, that's what I said. You don't get 3 white Explorers back to back and a brand new, like a, oh, what do you call that? Excursion or whatever. It's kind of like a 4-door, long looking SUV. And that budget truck, and no, it was budget. What I say, rent one, it was budget. But it looked new, but it looked like it just been in the sun and faded out the decals on it. I don't know if they're doing a bust. I don't know if they're doing an immigration thing. I don't know what was going on. But it didn't look right.
They're definitely doing some kind of surveillance.
Yeah. And it happened so fast, I didn't have time to grab a recorder or anything to record it. So, but man, it just left me scratching my head.
You know, I've seen that before too, going down my street.
Really?
I've seen 5 black SUVs, one after another. You know, you can tell the motherfucking real deal SUVs.
Yeah.
But they don't sound the same. And they don't look the same. You know, what's the odds of 5 SUVs rolling around with dark tinted windows?
Right. That's like I saw. There's no way you're going to have 3 brand new Explorers and that one Excursion or whatever it was that was black. It just didn't make sense. I don't know if they're fixing to round up people and thought it could have been a SWAT team in the budget truck. Who knows?
I'm sure it was. You know what they do? They got that thing called the, I forget the name of it, where it goes out and it tracks all the people's the cell phones and any kind of wireless devices.
Yeah. Well, it made my heart skip a beat when I saw it, but they went by me so fast, like they didn't realize I was there. I was like, woo.
Yeah, they do that to track who's got wireless capability.
I did run up to the top of the hill because there's a stop sign on down the road, and I can get up on top of a hill on my place, and I looked to see which way they went. And they went straight across, and I mean, they were headed to nowhere, but they were in a hurry doing it.
That's odd.
Yeah, it was. But I forgot to mention it. I guess it happened, let's see, today's Monday. It happened Saturday.
Well, you do talk about some controversial stuff.
Yeah.
Not like you got a fluffy little screen.
Do what now?
It's not like you got a fluffy little screen. No, seriously, the shit that we talk about rattles cages.
Oh, I know it.
And you know what? People aren't just dismissing us like conspiracy theorists no more. People are fucking paying attention. They're saying, hey, you know what? Let me see what old John Boy's talking about because, you know.
Well, look, I know it's getting serious when I got that daggum survey. And they're, this is a health survey. We'd like to know how many guns you have and where you keep them, how many cell phones you have. I'm like, what? How's this a health survey?
Yeah. And you know what's serious when they fried my Samsung Galaxy, right? There was no way to reset it. They couldn't do anything to it.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
I did that 4-hour live stream this morning on StreamYard, and I had it set on 18 and above, right?
Yep.
Well, while it was processing, I went in there and went ahead and changed it, just no kids. And when it uploaded, it would only let me hours after it uploaded. And it did that for like a half hour before it finally showed the whole thing. But I
Yeah,
put it,
like I was saying, they fried my whole phone, John. And like people are like, oh, you can do this to get it back. You can do that. You can put it
yeah,
on a wireless charger. It'll bring it back. Bro, my shit, I watched it go turn all colors and shit, and it just counts down. Now,
that's
what's the
crazy.
odds of that? Right after I got done a live stream, like not even 3 minutes after I did a live stream, my shit sizzled out.
Well, check this out. I got my tablet the other day because, all right, we had 4 days of blue skies, right? On the fourth day, about noontime, I started noticing planes started coming over, doing their little trails in the sky, right? And on the west horizon, you can see it, that cloud cover coming. Not clouds, you know what I mean, that blanket. And it kept creeping closer, and these planes kept coming out of it, pulling the trails out of it like they were pulling it along. So I sat there and got out there, and I went to YouTube and went to video where I could, record a video and put it upload it to YouTube. And I did a 10-minute video on it, and I was talking about if y'all want to know what climate change is, here it is. And I'm pointing up, I'm zooming it up on these planes that are laying these trails all the way from horizon to horizon. That thing will not upload for nothing. It's saying it's starting processing. And it's been saying that for 2 days now.
Yo, you can't name it anything crazy. You gotta name it something different and then change it.
Well, that's what I did. What I titled it was "This is the cause of climate change," and I thought, well, that's it. So I got in there and I erased the title and put "This is the cause," and it still won't upload. It's crazy.
Yo, I've had videos that I made that disappeared off my phone.
You've had what disappear off the phone?
Videos of me filming the sky
Oh, yeah.
just disappeared. Like, and I never recorded them.
Hey, I've done some live. Well, my brother told me, he asked me one day, what happened on that live stream that you're talking about? You're headed to Jackson on. And I had to think. And I was like, oh, and I remembered I tried to do a live stream from my tablet on the way to Jackson because I caught something in the sky. And it didn't even show I ever went live. But at the time, my brother caught the live while it was broadcasting.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
No, you know what else happens to me if I start filming stuff outside? My phone heats up super hot and ends it.
Yeah. Well, check this out.
Seriously.
After that phone survey they did, and they asked me if this number they're talking to me on is a cell phone, my cell phone will not hold a charge for. I can have 100% battery on it, and in 15 minutes, it's down to 15%. It's just crazy.
Yeah, they're definitely doing some funny stuff, especially with the skies.
Especially with the what?
Skies.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen
Bro,
stuff. I wish I could have recorded what I've seen in the sky. I mean, I've seen stuff I can't even explain to my own self what I saw.
is that them right there? Yeah. Is that her boxes?
Did you luck up and get the grave shift?
No, I didn't look up. I got to do this. So 4-pack.
Man, I missed out on a job. They're looking for welders, paying $16.50 an hour. I'm like, dadgummit, I missed it.
That's cheap for a welder.
Not around here.
That's what I'm saying. They're ripping your ass off.
Oh, Tennessee volunteers to rape you any way they can. Well, that was through a temporary service, though. There ain't no telling how much the company pay if you were hired on with the company.
Down there in Pascagoula, I fell for that old welder's helper bullshit where you do more welding than a motherfucking welder for half the price.
Yeah. Man, I think I was making, when I was a pipe fitter helper, which did more work than the pipe fitter. I'm serious. I was cutting the pipe, beveling the pipe, spot welding the pipe, running the pipe, making the brackets, doing everything. And then the pipe fitter, what'd he do? What did
just
he
double
do?
checked
Oh, no, he's the one that told you what to do. I forgot. Yeah. And then a welder come in behind you and did all the welds. It ain't like the pipe fitter did the final welds on it.
Now you just tack it up.
Yeah. Hey, we got Paris Logan and Hodgepodge in the house. Hey, how y'all doing tonight?
I was making $17 an hour down there in 2003.
In Pascagoula?
Yeah.
I think I was making 15 something, but I was down there. It was around, no, it wasn't. I was down there I think I was down there in 98, 99, somewhere in there.
That shit was dangerous though, buddy.
You ain't joking. If somebody had a problem with you, they could drop something from way up above you and kill you.
And they did it.
Mm-hmm.
I think like 1 or 2 people a week died down that motherfucker.
Yeah, it was crazy. I had, those big old metal wedges they used, you know what I'm talking about? It wasn't really a railroad spike. It was just a homemade wedge, but it was bigger than a railroad spike. I had one land 2 foot behind me one day when I was down in one of the legs of that old rig. It dropped 40 foot to where I was at. And if it had, look, I had a hard hat on, but it wouldn't have helped me.
Yeah, it would have knocked you out. Sure.
Oh, it would have went through the hard hat. It would have killed me. That was some dangerous work. I'm going to tell you, that was dangerous.
Yeah, that shit was dangerous, bro. We had to go inside them legs and grease tanks and shit.
Yeah. What were you doing
like,
again? You were doing scaffolding, weren't you?
I did it all over there. Paint, labor, welding, welder's helper.
I was a pipe fitter, man. And depending on how the tide was, those ladders inside the legs would be leaning the wrong way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, you never went inside the legs where it's all greasy, full of that grease?
Oh, I've been down in the bottom baffles. The baffles that connect to the legs at the bottom? I was down inside those things, yeah.
Yeah, and the lights go out and shit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and all the daggum welding smoke. Man, they'd put those, what do they call them? Air horns that would suck the stuff out through the manholes.
Yep.
Yeah, that was some crazy times.
You'd get paid like $15 just to be a fire watch.
Really?
Man, don't fall asleep. I always fell asleep.
Hey, I bet you had to sign the same waiver I did, stating that you would work up to 500 feet.
Yep.
Yeah.
The oil rigs don't usually sit that high, but when they're inland, they fucking sit high. They're like a little city.
Did you ever have to get you know, the elevator would go out and they'd have to use the crane, and they had this big old platform everybody'd have to get on. You ever had to do that?
Hell yeah, that shit's dangerous too.
Man, that thing get to spinning. I'm like, do I really need to use the bathroom that bad? You know, do I really need to get down, or can I wait for this elevator to start working? You know what I mean?
You ever had to go up underneath the platform and climb up that leg straight up with that ladder, go straight up?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is like steel rungs to go straight up.
Yeah. And man, I don't know how tall those legs were, but it was like inside those legs, it was like 40-foot sections. And if you ever missed a rung on the ladder and you're at the top, you would go straight down through every manhole that was in each section to the bottom.
Yeah, I held on to that shit tight.
Oh, you ain't joking. I was down at the bottom of a leg one time and did something to my shoulder, and I had to climb up with one arm. You know how scary that was? You ever climbed a ladder with one arm? You got to turn loose for a second and grab the next rung.
I started cramping halfway through.
Man, old Ham Marine, I'll never forget that.
Yep, that was it, Ham Marine.
I'll never forget that, man. That was crazy.
So people used to die there all the time.
Yeah. And the shipyard, man, was a sandblasting pellet. You know.
Oh my God, we had to do that too. Move the sandblast and stuff.
And hey, and when lunchtime came around and the horns blew, man, those seagulls would come from nowhere, man. There'd be millions of them. It was crazy. They'd try to snatch
Get it.
food out of your hand, man. You could throw a chicken
they
bone
do it.
in the air, and there'd be 5 of them fighting over it in the air.
I kind of missed that job though.
I do too. It was
now I think back on it, it was a real job.
Oh, it was definitely, you know, you worked at the end of the day.
Oh yeah. Yo, you ever had to do the mandatory 6 days on?
Yeah, what?
The mandatory 6 days?
Uh-uh.
6, 12?
No.
6 days, 12 hours a day?
No.
Yo, but them checks be husky.
Oh, yeah.
They were so big, you weren't even allowed to cash it at the Walmart or nothing.
I know when I first started, you know how you had to have steel toes? I didn't have the money for steel toes, but I had some shoes that looked like or some boots that looked like steel toe boots. I'm sitting up there on top of the deck, and we were messing with some 2-inch scheduled pipe, right? Schedule 40 pipe, and it was like 20 foot long or whatever. And for some reason, the bundle come loose or whatever, and it rolled down and landed on top of my foot. I ain't got no steel toe, right?
Oh,
Dude
man.
beside me looks at me, and look, I didn't make a face or nothing, right? Dude beside me looks at me and goes, "Ain't you glad you got steel toes on?" I said, "I sure am." Them toes smashed like a son of a gun, man.
I used to hit that boot truck up all the time and get 2 or 3 pairs.
Really? I never saw a boot truck.
There used to be a boot truck come in there. But they would have like the good boots that you couldn't find in no Walmart or nothing. You know what I mean? Like the good Wolverines.
Now I remember the food trucks coming in there. That's all I remember.
Oh, they had some good ass food trucks in there too, buddy.
Yeah.
You know, for like $4 or $5, you get a big ass quesadilla. That thing was like a stromboli. That thing was huge, like a half a pizza.
But the scariest thing that ever happened, we had a little, what they call it, job building, or, you know, where you met in the morning or whatever, and they'd tell you what you're going to do, and then you go out to the rig or whatever. Little bitty shack.
Well,
Might have been 10 by 10 or something. It wasn't big at all. We went in there to eat lunch, right? I go outside the door, and it was just like a daggum close encounter of third kind of movie, man. I could not see the sky. I looked up. The crane was moving the ocean barge, and we were directly under it. And I sat there and looked back in. I go, get out, run, y'all, get out. And they're like, what? I go, there's a barge over top of us. Could you imagine if that chain or cables had a broke?
Yeah, that's crazy. Y'all would have died for sure.
Yeah,
They had the little collie tugs. That's what they called them, the collie tugs.
really.
They were the ones that patrolled that little river right there.
Oh, yeah. I was down there when it was a Chinese ship of some kind. I can't remember what it was now, but the wind got to blowing so hard that it blew this ship into the drawbridge and shut the drawbridge down almost a week.
Did you ever do the chicken boats out there?
You ever what?
Do the chicken boat?
No, you're telling me about that. No, I never. That's
You
crazy.
have to load chicken up on the ship, but going to Russia.
That was crazy. You were telling me about that on the phone one day.
That was
Hey,
Russia.
I was going to say Hodgepodge is right on spot. I said that earlier too. He says, I feel bad for the truckers, man. Times will get hard this year for them. We're fixing to not see 18-wheelers on the road.
We're fixing to see a lot of shit we never thought we'd see in our day.
Yep. Jenny, why didn't you get footage of that? Jenny said last night's sky was pink, purple, bright orange, and yellow. Well, shoot, man. Hey.
About to wrap it up.
Yeah, I probably need to. This daggone wind's starting to kick up. It's probably fixing to mess up my signal.
All right. Well, good hanging out with you. Stay safe.
Well, you too. I appreciate you coming up here. I appreciate the raid. I appreciate the super chat.
Yeah. You know how we do it. Got to start looking out for each other.
Yeah.
Something I couldn't do anymore.
Well, look, things are about to change. We're fixing to get the truth out there, and we're fixing to start growing. Just things are about to go our way.
Yeah, I believe so. Because the shit we've been talking about is here.
Yep. All this talking, all this time now, it's no game, y'all. It's for real.
Yeah. It's here. All right, everybody in the chat. Good night. Good night, John Boy.
All right. Yeah, good night, Cafe. And I appreciate everybody in chat to come in. I want everybody to have a blessed night or day or whatever the case may be. Well, thank you, Miss Thing. But yeah, until next time, I guess I'll see y'all later.